Good morning, everybody. It's Positive Tuesday today, September 13th, 2022. For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and of course you're watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. For nearly 20 years of experience, this locally owned and operated business has provided quality work in roofing, garages, siding, window installations, kitchen and bathroom remodeling, vinyl and hardwood flooring, and they can even build your house or business from the ground up. Like Fitzy and I, they believe that it's the little things that make a big difference. So give them a call today. The number's right there on the screen, 715-520-2271. Positive Tuesday is also brought to you in part by the Wisconsin Lakes team. It's still a great time to buy or sell a home, and when you do, we recommend our friends from the Wisconsin Lakes team. Anyone can say that they're an agent, but not everyone treats their clients as they would like to be treated. And that's what Aaron and Katie do. Find out more by visiting their website at lakesteamwi.com. Also supporting the show are our friends at Industrial Safety. We all know that Industrial Safety sells and services practically everything that goes into a fire station and on a firefighter. But they also provide kitchen suppression system maintenance, inspections, and installs. For more information about this service and to see a list of all of their available services, visit their website at industrialsafetystore.com. We are being joined by a very special guest today for our third installment of Community Cares, presented by Spooner Health. His Spooner Memorial Library, director, I'm just going to say Miss Angie.
Hello.
Angie, I'm not really 100% sure. How do you say your last name?
Bodzislaw.
Bodzislaw. Miss Angie it is. I say Miss Angie because that's how my daughter refers to you. So that's why I'm going to refer to you for the rest of the show. That's okay. Miss Angie. Yeah. And by the way, you are very fortunate to have Fitzy and I as hosts and co-hosts for having you on, because we both have ties to libraries. Fitzy, you're on the board for is it the Rice Lake Library?
Yep.
The Rice Lake Library. So, he'll hopefully be able to ask questions I wouldn't think of. And
we can talk library stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And I was in a library once, so I'm pretty sure I have a extensive knowledge.
Dropping your daughter off, yeah.
I'm not kidding. I haven't been in a library since high school.
Yeah.
I should probably go.
It shows no. Sorry, it's a positive.
Oh
Tuesday.
my goodness, it's Positive Tuesday today.
I missed you.
Yeah, you're off last week, Miss Angie. Since you are our guest, and we'll totally get into library talk, but we always like to start the show with something positive going on in our lives. So we'll start with you, Miss Angie. Share something positive going on in your life.
Well, we have a bookmobile here. It's a vehicle that we're transforming into a bookmobile, and it is in the process of getting wrapped right now. So that's an exciting thing. Wrapped.
What does that mean?
W-R-A-P. Wrapped.
Advertising on it. Like a vehicle
sign.
wrap.
Just put DrydenWire on there.
Vehicle wrap.
Right down the side.
Pay for it. You can have your name on it. I'm sure
Stop
she'll let you.
So that's pretty awesome. Is this the first time? I mean, wait, what does the thing do?
Well, the last time there was a bookmobile in our area, it was through our system. So it was like all across northern Wisconsin, and that was in 1999. 2000 is when it stopped. So it's been 22 years. So basically, we got a grant and bought a cargo van, and we're transforming it with some local people into a bookmobile. So it'll have shelves in there with books. And we call it our Books and Bread bookmobile too. We're going to have food resources on it as well. And then our outreach librarian will drive it around to different townships in Washburn County.
I bet you guys don't have that in Rice Lake, do you, Fitzy?
We don't until we have a library meeting tonight. Now I want a bookmobile.
No. All right, so that's an awesome, positive way to start the show. Fitzy, we were off last week. You had this weird half work vacation, half personal vacation. Where were you last week?
I was in Colorado last week. I had to give a talk.
In Colorado, you getting the good?
Yeah, I know. We were in Snowmass in Aspen, Colorado, for the week, and I took my wife and we went 4 days earlier and spent some time just doing nothing, having a vacation, and it was awesome. It's beautiful out there. And then I gave a talk on the cost case with some FBI agents that were here, part of the case, and we gave it to a bunch of detectives out there in Colorado. So it was awesome, wonderful, great to get away and have a vacation. I haven't had probably a true vacation, probably ever, and it was really fun.
Well, and you're empty nesters now.
Yeah, empty
so
nesters.
It's kind of nice to be able to just get away.
Yeah. I can do that every weekend. No, we got hockey this weekend, so we're back in the hockey swing of things, and our son is coming home to play hockey. I think we'll see our daughter, and so yeah, it's great.
That's great.
Good weekend. Yeah,
getting away, man. That's where it's at.
Did you take Tuesday off too?
I did. I decided, you know what? That's it. I had one guest in mind, and he couldn't do it because he was gone. But we'll have him on at some point, and that is the Spooner Police Captain, Mike Cronberg. So that was the only one that I thought that would be really kind of neat to have him on, but he was not available. So at some point, though, we should have him on. So, yeah, I don't really have a ton of positive things. I mean, it's not like anything was negative. Just nothing really significant happened. But I can tell you, last Friday, I had Adam Jarkow and Joel Clayfish on for a show. And they're both former legislators. But we didn't talk any politics. It was about this Triple J Outfitters, this hunting, gators and hogs down in Florida, this whole package deal. Because, that's my favorite topic, hunting.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about it. So
it's kind of like libraries for you.
Oh, the show's a dumpster fire. I love it. Okay, so let's get to you, Miss Angie. For people who don't know you that well, give us a little history of who you are.
Well, I grew up in Shell Lake, mostly on a farm, every other weekend in Trigo with my dad. I went to school in Shell Lake from the beginning, graduated in 2003, and always wanted to be a marriage counselor. Then I got married, and I'm like, marriage is hard.
Marriage is hard.
Marriage is hard, but it's great, too. Anyway, I've always had a passion for people. I never thought like, hey, I want to be a librarian. Well, in 2015 or something, the children's librarian position opened up here. I had experience working with children, working with seniors. At that point, I wanted to be a social worker, working with veterans, basically people. And I started my work here as children's librarian and immediately fell in love with this library, this community, the people, the job. But I wanted to lead the library, so I started my master's program and then applied to take over director position here. So I've been here 7 years, and in the last 7 years, my team, my board, and I have kind of transitioned the library really into a community hub. All libraries everywhere, especially public libraries, aren't your grandma's library. So Ben, if you haven't been to a library in a long time,
about 25 years, yeah.
Yeah, it's not the same as it was 25 years ago. So you should definitely come. Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I think libraries are, and I've only served on the library board for a few years, both the Friends of the Library in Rice Lake and now the official library board for 2 years. And libraries you're 100% right. They are the key to a community, and that's why. And I don't read books, although I've started reading books and I've kind of enjoyed it. I've read I've read a half of a book while I was on vacation. So
boy.
I know. That's a gold star.
That really is, actually.
Yeah.
Because like you and I, Fitzy, we read all the time.
Right.
Usually I'm like reading criminal complaints or reading stories, but it's, it's not like a shut everything down, no TV, quiet, get a book. That's happened like 6 times in my life. Usually just because I don't have, 3 hours to kill. But boy, when you get into it and it's a good book, like you kind of don't want to stop reading it.
Right. And I have it on a Kindle, and then you can get your books free on your Kindle from the library. I mean, it's amazing.
Wait, what?
You don't got to go. Yeah, you don't.
Yeah, we have so at our library we actually have 2 ways that you can get free digital books. You can get it through Libby, which is the Wisconsin Public Library Consortium. So that's all the public libraries in Wisconsin have people have access to the Libby app with their library card. So it's ebooks, e-audiobooks. And then August 1st, we started a subscription to Hoopla. So with Hoopla, people can get digital content. They can stream movies and shows. They can get e-magazines. They can get e-books, e-audiobooks. They can watch, learn how to do something by watching a course. So all with
What?
your library card.
I got my Libby
Yeah.
app right on my phone.
Wait,
Yeah.
hold on. I don't see it. I see
right by my
KFC. That's all I saw.
Yeah, and the McDonald's app.
So it's so Libby or Hoopla. Which one should I be downloading?
Just download both.
Yeah.
And Libby, L-I, what was it?
Libby.
B-B-Y. And then do I have to, I'm assuming I pay for it, which is fine, right? If it's a month.
You don't pay for it. No.
What?
Yeah.
It's free with your library card.
I don't have a
You gotta
library.
have
How do
a
I get a library
library card,
card?
Well, come on in. You get your
All right.
library card by you
That's
can go to
pretty
our
cool.
website, spoonerlibrary.org,
Okay.
and you can fill out the form online, and then we'll make you a card, call you, and then you can pick it up.
What kind of
Or
documentation?
Rally could pick it up.
Yeah, if Rally could just do it for me, that'd be great.
But if you'd like to check out the library,
Okay.
you can come in
There you
and
go.
fill out
You
a
got
form,
it.
and we can get you a
I'll pick you up, Ben, and take you to the library.
Yeah, the Spooner Library is like 3 blocks from my house. So.
field trip.
But yeah, you're gonna have to drive all the way up here to take me. Yeah, Fitzy, I think you're the one that brought up a couple of shows ago about librarians. I think it was I think we were talking about that about the educations they have to have. Wasn't that you?
Yeah, it was. And the librarians, and we just hired a new librarian in Rice Lake, and she starts 2 weeks from now. And so, yeah, they have to have a master's degree, correct?
Yes. Well, it depends
you-
on the size of your library.
Yep.
You have to have a bachelor's degree. In bigger libraries, it's a master's degree. It's called a master's in library and information science.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think what we were talking about, that blew me away.
Mm-hmm.
That a librarian needs that much schooling, like what a lawyer would need almost. It just no kidding. That just I don't know. It's a library. Like I don't know. Return your book on time.
No,
Like,
it's
how hard
more
is it?
than that. It's a lot more than that.
Okay, so tell us, what is that? It's like, what is your day like?
My day is basically sitting down just to get interrupted. No.
Correct.
So what I like about working in a library and not just like sticking, like I worked with kids on the autism spectrum. I worked with seniors, which I loved, but it was with one population. So here at the library, every day I'm with many generations of people doing different things. So yesterday I came in, I shut my door and I said, focus, because my sister's coming up from Virginia. I'm going to be gone. I pay the bills. That boring stuff, administrative stuff, right? Making sure my team has what they need. And then also a lot of problem solving, whether it's, someone has a community need, who do we refer them to, or printing need. We're pretty much the printing hub of Spooner. So if someone, for example, yesterday somebody was trying to print something. It was only in one drive. We needed it in a different format. Somebody wanted to see what was on their hunting camera, trail camera.
Mhm.
So, viewing stuff on an SD card. We do a lot of tech help. People might just need something as simple as printing an Amazon label to send something back. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. Or people might need to fax or scan important documents, to try to move forward in their life. I have a lot of I'll get up to help patrons with that, or my team helps patrons.
And so the funding from a library comes from Where? Grants for taxpayer dollar stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, I literally don't
So,
know.
so funding from a library comes from Act 150 and Act 420. Basically, we get funds from counties, cross counties, so counties that touch Washburn County that
Like
don't have
Barron?
libraries.
Yep.
Oh, that don't have libraries.
So yeah, so if we had a patron who lived in the city of Rice Lake
Mhm.
and checked items out, we don't get funds for that because Rice Lake has a public library. We also get funding from Washburn County. So we get funding from most of our funding is from Washburn County, and that's because of an act that requires them to reimburse us, and then from the city of Spooner. So those are our main two sources. Throughout the year, we'll get donations, sometimes for specific things, sometimes for anything that we need.
Sure.
We apply for grants, but mainly the county and the city.
But isn't that based on? So if Ben starts checking out a book every day and returning it, you'll get more funding 2 years from now, correct? It's
No,
based on.
because no, because he lives down the street. He lives in the city of Spooner. So
Yeah, but
we don't so like overall it's like total circulation, and then it's this formula
right.
that that then tells us how much things are reimbursed. So sometimes if you circulate, which means check out a lot of stuff um, from library locations, if your circulation gets really big, it can make your cost per circ go down. So you can actually lose money.
So I shouldn't check out books.
No, you should.
That's what I'm hearing.
You
You should.
should.
I
You
should
should.
check out books.
It's just this happy medium. But that's why
Yeah.
we're focusing a lot on rural Washburn County.
Oh.
You know, it's to reach people, but also it does help with funding too.
Right.
And that's why I need a master's degree, because that doesn't make any sense to me at all. Hey, real quick. So I apologize, but I've been getting a few texts here from Amy Greenfield. Amy Greenfield is the one that put on the Spooner block party. She's kind of in charge of that. We may have a guest, like for the first 10 or 15 minutes of the show next week, Fitzy.
Yeah.
Amy, be coming on?
Okay.
Because it sounds like, they are ready to announce next Tuesday, live on our show, the
Whoa.
artists for
Spooner Block Party.
for the 2023 Spooner Block Party. So we will have an exclusive on that, and she'll be on for about, I don't know how long it takes to go through it all, 5 or 10 minutes, but she'll be on right away at 8:30 next week.
All right.
Because, you and I both went to the last one, and we loved it. And she's been teasing that this is going to be even a better lineup this year.
Whoa.
Don't know what that means. And she said, oh, you'd be blown away when you find out who. And I'm like, just give me a hint. But she won't even give me a hint.
Oh.
So I'm sorry, that's who I was just texting. So there you go. That's going to be awesome next week.
Breaking news right here.
Right on our show. See, that's how we do, Miss Angie.
That's right.
And so how many books, now with like the digital world, and with Hoopla and Libby and etc., how many books, how many books get, what is it, rented?
Check out.
Checked out. Oh, that's better. Rented.
Doesn't cost you nothing.
Okay,
to rent a book.
right. So, like, how many in a week?
A lot. So I don't know numbers, but I do know
Like
like
50?
if you're a lot more than 50. Sometimes we have families come up and check out 40 books at a time,
Jeez.
for their kids. Yeah. So it's a lot. And it's not just books. We have books, we have movies, we have our library of things, which has like cake pans in it.
40
we have
books, though?
ukuleles.
Jeepers.
Yeah,
Nerd alert.
Puzzles.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Puzzles?
Games. Yeah. We have
All
a
right,
lot.
I'm totally going to have to go to the library, because you're right. That is not the library that I knew when I was a kid.
But as far as like number of e-circulations versus regular circulations,
Yeah.
I'd say probably like 3/4 are regular circulation. So the people that say, "Oh, books are dead," it's not true.
Really?
People prefer the physical book over ebook. The majority of the people do.
And how's, like, Fitzy, maybe he hasn't experienced it yet, but we're starting to get some of that North Wisconsin when it comes to cops and hiring. The pool just, it isn't as many people that are applying for jobs. obviously a librarian is one thing. You have to do 400 years of schooling just to, do that, which is bizarre, it's awesome, but it's really just weird to me. But in terms of, people that you hire, is there a shortage for that? I mean, what kind of a person applies for something like that? Is it long-term? Is it short-term? Are you doing okay? Like if we put an announcement, hey, we're hiring for someone, you get a lot of response, or man, it's really getting hard to find people.
We're not having a hard time finding people. We have people that are here that want more hours, and I can't give them more hours.
Oh,
We we have we haven't ever had a problem hiring. I know across the state, librarians are retiring or getting burnt out. Burnout is huge because you're working with a vulnerable population. Um, it's a lot. I mean, a lot of times I know, like Fitzy, you probably understand is it social work or is it policing? It's
Right.
like that with libraries, especially in bigger libraries. Is it social work or you know, is it being a librarian? Because it's a lot of we're a safe place,
Right.
we're a trusted place, and uh, people come in and they need help, and a lot of times they need help with something that like it's an immediate need. So a lot of times we'll help them the best we can. We refer, but sometimes there's the thin line of like, is it something that we should be doing or is it something that someone else should be doing?
yeah. So I'm sorry, I don't understand any of this. What do you mean the social work aspect of
Well,
it?
so let
Fitzy,
me.
yeah, go ahead.
I'll explain it because everybody goes to the library because it, like she said, Miss Angie said, it's a safe place. So they
Mhm.
go there and they ask for help, and it's not how do I check out a book?
That's
It's
what I
how do
thought she
I.
was. So it's not
No,
that.
it's about
Oh,
how do I get out of a domestic abuse relationship, and then they
what?
have to know. Yeah, I mean, that's where that's where people go to get help, and so they have to not, maybe people are just interested in learning about how to do it. Maybe there's a book, maybe there's a pamphlet, but that's what our librarians are getting stuck with, and that's what she means by that is that people come there to ask for help or to learn, to gather information to help them file their taxes and do all kinds of different things happens at a library. And that's why the libraries are key to a community, and that's why Spooner Health supports things like the library. If you look at just our library, I got our stats for August. This is the Rice Lake Library, only because we have a meeting tonight. There was 9,222 people that went through the door of the library in August. Doesn't mean some of them came through twice. I mean, but 9,000 people, went through the Rice Lake Library in August. That's the door count. We checked out,
That's 300 a day.
yeah, 355 per day. Checkouts, we checked out 9,922 checkouts. Now, that might be an experience kit, it might be an ebook, it might be a regular book, but there was 9,900 checkouts. So that's how much, if you don't use the library, you don't understand how many people go there and use it as a community center, basically. There's meeting rooms, there's study rooms, there's youth events, that doesn't, I mean, Miss Angie, I'm sure, has programming like Rice Lake does. They do, we did family fun night, polka dot zebras, pizza and poetry. We had a national speaker come in and talk. Kent Kruger talked about all these books
Mhm.
that he has. So 109 people used our meeting rooms. 612 people used our computers. Now, Miss Angie has to keep track of that for her library, like our librarian has to.
Oh yeah,
So
the annual report.
right? And because this is all has to do with funding. I mean, there's certain funding
Mhm.
things that get attached to these numbers. So you can't just say, must have had about 1,000 people this month, because if it was 4,000, your funding might go up, if on certain things. So
Sure.
you've
Yeah,
got to keep track of all of this, and it's it's not a great way. Wisconsin does it kind of backwards. I think they should just fund them,
yeah, I agree.
but they don't. It's Act 150. It's very complicated. Counties can control it, but they can't control it. It's not against the tax levy. It's
Mhm.
it's very it's not as easy as putting a budget like you and I do for our budgets.
Right.
Libraries are very complicated, and it's based on patrons and usage and all this other stuff.
That's stupid, but
Yeah,
uh,
right. But that's why libraries are so key to a community, and you have to really go to them because they're more than just books.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I always like our newsletter, we call it Beyond Books. We're really,
Huh.
I mean, we're books and beyond. That's what one of my teammates said. She's like, "Shouldn't we say books and beyond?" But
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
yeah, right. Books and
we have programs all the time for different ages.
like what? Give us
We
some examples of what programs you guys have.
So we have our cookbook club is starting up again. So that's something that we had in 2020 and had to shut it down. But
Okay.
um, cookbook club, super fun. You check out a themed cookbook from the library, make something from that cookbook, bring it back, and we have a potluck. You talk about how the recipe was, how the cookbook was. Everyone eats delicious food. We have a Scandinavian
Yeah, well, hold
Man,
um,
I'm a
on. By the
when's
way,
this
Fitzy and
cookbook
I should
guy?
totally go to that.
Yeah, we
yeah,
Right.
can cook hot dogs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Check out,
We could
get
kill a
your library
pancake.
card. Check out a cookbook. Come October 6th.
October 6th.
We have author visits. We have a puppy party coming up on the 30th.
What?
Um, we've several times partnered with a local breeder and trainer, and when her puppies get like 4 to 5 weeks old, they're ready to get socialized with the group. So they come in and
Oh.
people just play with puppies. We had a glitter party because families all the time don't want glitter at home, but we want
Mm-mm.
glitter at the library. I mean,
Oh.
at least I do. Glitter at the library is good. And then we have mischief makers where people craft, and then we have Savvy Seniors, which is a book club at the senior center, and they're a good group. They they have great lively conversation. They have a meal there. And that's just some of the stuff, but we're always doing things. We have Books and Bread, which is the fourth Wednesday of the month. That's a community resource for food. With it's a partnership. Partnerships within the community is what makes a library function well and serve the community well. Without partnerships, we'd be nothing.
So,
Um,
this is a question for both of you. Fitzy, I'll start with you. If a library wasn't in Rice Lake, and Miss Angie, if a library wasn't in Spooner, what would that look like? What would happen to a community? I mean, I'm not saying like all of a sudden like meth goes up or something. I mean, I don't know if we could tie that in, but I mean, what does a community look like that doesn't have a library? Fitzy?
Well, you know, it's a good question, but a lot of people go there. It's a safe spot. They learn a lot of information. I think, you know, it's a good, it's a, the community is not as strong as it is. And there's no question about it. They're that important to a community. Um,
I like the safe place aspect of
it,
it.
it's
I never
just,
thought about that. And you had mentioned it's almost, or maybe it was you, Miss Angie, that had mentioned it's like a community center
right.
yeah,
in a way. Community hub, that's what it was.
Yeah.
yeah,
So what
yeah.
is, go ahead.
I think that if Spooner didn't have a library, that there would be less connection between people. Like,
Mm.
for example, our story hour brings new families to the area. They meet other families that have kids. There's that connection. There's opportunities for people that aren't very social to go to a safe place to socialize instead of going to the bar, um, for example. So I think our community's safer. We're not just a safe place, but our community's safer with a library. And then we have more people that are employed because we help people with employment here. We have people have more opportunities, so people would lose opportunities for sure. Um, and like we're located in the center of the city, same
Mm.
with Rice Lake. People with transportation problems, they can't
Mhm.
drive to do things that they can walk to the library to do.
Yeah, your
I,
answers are a lot better than Fitzy's answers. Just saying.
well, and I think,
He
I
said the
mean,
same thing,
All right.
just shorter.
she did it right. She's got the master's degree.
Well, yeah.
But the internet, I'm amazed at how many we take the internet for granted. You and I do,
Yeah.
Ben, because
Yeah.
we have internet everywhere we go. And there's people out there that don't have internet at their house. The internet is very key to some of these families at the library. And I didn't understand that quite as much as I do now. I just thought everybody had the internet. I think our kids don't realize that. There's kids out there and families out there that don't have the internet. And that's got to change. I've actually thought about it, and I haven't. I talked to our former library director, Catherine, about it, about having the sheriff hour at the library, just going to the library, sitting there and being accessible to people, because there's so many people that go through the library. 9,000 people went to the library in August. 355 people a day. If I sit there for 2 hours and talk to 30 or 40 people,
Yeah.
that's a big deal for me, to get ideas, questions, answers. So I've considered having a sheriff hour or sheriff 2 hours at the library.
That's a
and sit
really
there
good
and-
idea.
Yeah, I like it. And, I think we have 5 libraries in Barron County, and we might have more than that now, I think. So there's a lot of libraries. And so I thought about doing that, but it takes a lot of time to
Well, yeah,
set up
5 libraries, 2 hours, that's cheaper.
10 hours a week, or 10 hours a month. I mean, I could probably do that, though. I think so. I probably will, now that fall's here and it's hopefully a little slower for us. Although it hadn't been slow today. But see, Hank wants me to do it. So, all right.
Well, he didn't
All right.
say that. He didn't say
Well, he
do
said
it.
it'd be off.
I know, but
He has 3 exclamation marks.
okay,
Yeah,
that
see?
is definitely
Story.
all
hour.
right.
Then I'd have
Shasta,
to read.
okay. No, that's a really good idea.
I don't know as long as it's a picture book, I'm good with it.
What else would it be?
Yep. So, Ms. Angie, speaking of, Riley brought home an action Bible. It's I'm
Cool.
going to grab it. Hold on. It's right behind me.
Yeah, the graphic novels are big.
So
in
she brought
Spooner
this
and
home, and I've
everything.
actually been reading it because it's totally up my alley. I mean, we do our Bible studies, but it's the action Bible, and it's it's a graphic. What is that called? Graphic novel? Or
Graphic novel.
Yeah.
Graphic novel.
Yeah. So it puts it in like dumb people version, which is like my version. It's at the Cliff Notes of the Bible. I love it. So I've actually been reading it. I'm like a third of the way through already. I don't know if that's
We
really
have a whole
reading, but
graphic novel section, so just get your library card.
okay.
Check out graphic novels.
All right. As long as you're on. So Riley, my daughter Riley, is now employed there.
Yes. No
Thank
thanks to you guys.
No, I think we probably
All
hurt her
thanks
chances. I'm blaming that on Fitzy.
Yeah, you can blame that one on me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep. So
Sorry.
since you're
She's
on,
awesome, though.
how's she doing?
She's doing great. She's got her positive smile. She's ready
Yeah,
to
always.
listen. She's got her notebook with her at all times.
So weird. Doctors can't figure out what's wrong with it. I don't-
She's doing great. We also have Jackson is new too, and he's doing great too. They're training alongside each other.
Aw.
So yeah,
And why did you start? So I mean, she's 14.
yeah,
Why are you
I'm
hiring
trying to-
14-year-olds?
yeah. So normally we wait 16 because we are open till 8. Unless they're 16 or older,
Like,
they can't work past 7. I understand it, but
Labor
it's
laws.
annoying.
It is. Like, how do farmers get away with that? I mean, obviously it's different,
Farmers
but
it's different for
like their
farmers.
kids, they
Yeah.
wake up working, and then they go to school and they go home and they work all night.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, so the reason why, like, we have 2 14-year-olds, the reason why I hired Rally, other than that she's awesome,
Mm.
is that I want to get away from every 2 years when people graduate having to hire someone else. So if I start them at 14, they can only work a couple hours a week or something. Then they're trained in, and we have extra time with them, and they have extra time with us because we're positive role models for them.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool actually to see the teen come in like all immature and insecure. That's not Rally, but
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, she's more
and then
mature than I am by
and then
far.
They transform. They
Yeah.
transform,
Aw.
and it's a really positive workplace here, generally. And I don't know.
She loves
so,
it.
yeah.
Fitzy, what are you reading? I noticed that
I'm reading a couple emails that popped
It's
up
fun.
that I need to look at.
Are we boring you?
No, I'm not. I just
I'm
had to
kidding.
answer.
No,
Just
I understand.
looked
You're a
at
sheriff.
this
You have things to do.
Yeah.
Actually. All right. So, Fitzy, do you have any other questions about library? Actually, hold on, Miss Angie. So Fitzy and I like to do mostly for joking, but maybe a little serious. But Washburn County is better than Barron County, and we all know that's true.
It is.
It is. See, there you go.
Yeah.
The Spooner Library is pretty awesome, and I heard the Rice Lake Library isn't really as
The
awesome.
Rice
Have you
Lake
heard the
Library
same thing?
is awesome,
Ah,
Ah, see.
but I feel like we do more programs for
Ha!
one thing.
Ah.
We probably have more partnerships. No, we
is
don't
that
compete in the library in library land. we don't compete.
Aw.
We partner, we ask each other questions, we, you know, help each other when we're feeling burnt out. So we don't compete. But as far as the counties go,
No.
Washburn County, and it might be Washburn County is big, so but not as big as Barron County. Might be the size or something, but Washburn County, holy crap, can partner like nobody's business. When COVID hit, we came together and we're like, we're doing something right now. And we did. That's when we started Community First. So that's where I see the beauty in Washburn County. But I'm in Washburn County, I see it.
Yeah.
Fitzy's in Barron County, he probably sees the same thing.
Sure.
You know, that's what community, this community cares.
Yeah.
That's what community is. And small towns
That's
and
right.
small, our county is
One-
more important in a small town, I feel like.
I think you're onto something there. And Barron County still is a small county. I mean, relatively. It's 3 times, in terms of population, 3 times the size of Washburn. But really, it's still, I mean, their biggest city is what, 10,000 in Rice Lake? 11,000? Something like that, Fitzy?
8,800 in Rice Lake.
I thought it was more than that. All right, so that's like the biggest. I mean, that's still really small comparatively or relatively. And speaking of, I put that up. Miss Julie was one of our Community Cares guests when she was on. She is also instrumental in community. Miss Angie, I'm sure you know Miss Julie.
I do. We partner with Julie. Yeah.
And it's people like you, Miss Angie. It's people like Miss Julie, and just to name 2 of so many. We had Renee Llewell. Remember that Fitzy she was on? She was the first one for our Community Cares, that Lakeland Family Resource Center.
Mm-hmm.
She's legit.
Yeah.
You are absolutely right, Miss Angie. I never thought about that. But I do see partnerships everywhere in Washburn County. It's really amazing. What would you contribute that to other than, we're just small? Because I contributed to people like you.
Yeah, I think there's great leaders in different organizations and in the county, like the mental health task force with Chet and then, Julie as well. I think it's leaders that are willing to see beyond their doors and opportunities to collaborate. Like we all go to same events and stuff, and then using that as a time to discuss. Some of the partnerships came because the community was vulnerable and we had to come together and find a solution. But I feel like, I don't remember if I read it somewhere or something, but in a smaller, like a smaller community and our smaller county, people aren't competing. Whereas sometimes in really big, I remember when I was in Milwaukee doing some training for community powered, there were some libraries there that were really big, and they were talking about how their communities, organizations compete with each other, and we don't do that at all here. We come together and we're like, okay, if we're doing the same thing, then maybe we could, adapt or change a little bit, but we're all
Work
doing
together.
a little thing. Yeah, because we all have different populations, but some that are the same.
Sure.
That's awesome. And if you ever need support, DrydenWire's there
Would you
for you.
stop? Nope.
Oh, no. That's what you're saying. No.
No. Oh, no, see. Oh, my goodness.
So, DrydenWire's always there.
Yeah. Just ask Fitzy. We're here to help and support anyway, typically financially. So if you need anything, just let Ben know.
We just promoted the library. It didn't cost you $1.
There you go. See, that's nice. That's what I can do to help.
So everybody go to the library, check out a book. There you go.
Yeah. So Dirk's giving our weather update. Enjoy today, tomorrow. Showers and thunderstorms in the way later in the week. Highs in the middle upper 70s. Today we will still see smoke-filled skies again.
Why? Is there a fire?
I don't know. Maybe that's just like weather people talk for clouds. No, that's not it. Right?
I don't know.
What does that mean, smoke-filled? Dirk, what does that mean, smoke-filled? Well, what do you mean, is there a fire? You're in Barron County. You're the sheriff. You should know if there's a fire.
Well,
He's not
sometimes
in
there's
Washburn County, though.
Yeah, but sometimes a fire in somewhere far away makes the smoke in the air here. So is there a big fire in Colorado or Mexico or?
There you go. All the smoke from out west from the west. What?
There's wildfires again?
Yeah, I've heard about those, but I didn't realize that that's already over here. I don't go outside much. So I haven't noticed. All right, so Miss Angie, is there kind of a final words thing? Is there something for people that haven't been to the library in a while, is there like a misconception out there or a myth about a library that, man, I just wish everybody knew this, and if they knew this, they would all come?
Yeah. Libraries are welcoming to everyone, and we are not quiet. The
What?
libraries we are not quiet. We don't shush.
Shush.
People can walk in the door, whether you have a library card or you don't, you can have access to the computers, to the internet, to printing, to us. You can ask us questions and stuff. If a long time ago you had crazy fines or something, we are a fine-free library. Come in. We will work with you where you're at. That's what we do.
How
We're
many
judgment-free.
fines do you have like on the books right now? Like a total dollar amount? Are we talking if everybody paid their fines, you'd get like 10 grand, or is it?
No, we don't
100
have
bucks?
any fines.
You
They're
would
all
never
like,
charge. What? Isn't there a time you're supposed to return a book?
yes, there's due dates, and if you don't return it, then there's a replacement cost for it. But
No fun.
that's like the cost of the book, or bring the book back. But we don't charge like 10 cents a day or something stupid like that.
We have it back in a week or whenever.
We've got, it's not whenever. People are good people generally. People have good intentions.
That is a very good point.
The people that were late before when we had fines are still late without fines.
Got it. Fitzy, what about you? Do you have any, do you hear, since you're on the board for the Rice Lake Library, about myths or things that now that you're on the board, you realize a lot of it, because obviously you don't go to like libraries on every Saturday morning. Right. Is there something that you've learned about the libraries? Like, man, I wish people knew this.
It's a cool place to go and do a lot of different things. I mean, it is the source of, I mean, if you're bored on Saturday mornings, go there and just look at books, read magazines, read the newspaper. We got a little fireplace in Rice Lake that someone donated. I mean, you can look out the window at all the traffic. I mean, it's just a neat place to go to do a lot of different things. We have experience kits. We have a lot of different things you can check out. But it's more than books. I love that. It's more than books. So
speaking of Saturday mornings, what are the hours at the Spooner Library, since I've never been there?
We're open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and then 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Friday and Saturday.
8 to 4 Friday. All right. Do you guys do like food and snacks and stuff on Saturday mornings?
We have our compassion kitchen in the hallway.
What's that?
If you need food.
No, I don't need it.
Well, we just like it.
Yeah, I just.
You can just go to our community gardens and grab a tomato or a cucumber or something on your way in.
Those are popping up. Yeah, what are those again? I see those or hear about those.
Yeah, so Community First, which
Washburn.
we're a part of, got a grant to build and install and plant 10 community garden beds in Washburn County. So we have one in Birchwood, 2 in Trigo, 1 in Minong, 1 in Shell Lake. We've got, I think, I can't do the math, but some in Spooner, some at the Old Business Center, and then we've got 2 here, and then we've got 2 at Railroad Park. I think that's more than 10, but you get the picture.
Wow.
Yeah, so we our hope is that the community will actually take care of the beds, and then that the food gets put back into the community for people in need. So our garden beds have produced probably 150 pounds, and we planted in June, and then we take the food and weigh it, and then we put it in our entryway, and then the community can just take it as they need.
Shush. Really?
Yeah,
that's
and then
how awesome libraries are.
That's freaking amazing. I'm just saying that is so awesome.
We partner with Feed My People out of Eau Claire.
Yeah.
And they provide us with food resources. So in our entryway, we also have bags of food that people can take. And they don't have to prove residency. They don't have to write names. They just write 2 people 0 to 17. They just have to write, numbers.
Sure. Just so you have some data, who's using it, etc.
Yeah. Yep. Feed
but
My
we don't need to
People.
know your social security number or anything like that.
No, you don't have to. you don't have to live at a certain place or have a certain income or anything.
I love Washburn County.
How many libraries in Washburn County? I don't know the answer to that.
There's 2. There's Shell Lake and then Spooner.
Oh, so Dave Wilson goes to his. We just had to get his name in
He
there.
he right now is literally in the same building
Yeah.
as the Shell Lake Library. So
Yeah, which is
He better be going to his.
well, yeah. There's no excuse. I mean, he's literally in. Like, there's half of the Shellick Police Department. No, so the Shellick Police Department, as it stands right now, is one office.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. It's just an office.
So you can go to the library
One
and work
office,
in the
but
study room.
then it's the city hall right there, and whatever. The city administrator, the mayor's office. Which I don't know why the mayor has an office. It's a job that you have to be there for like an hour a month. But whatever. Then there's the library is the big part of it. But of course now the Shellick Police Department is moving to their own building finally.
Oh.
I don't know what they're going to do with all that the previous Shellick Police Department, all that real estate of 90 square feet.
I think they should give it to the library.
You know,
I think they should.
oh, we should give it to the Spooner Library.
We'll give it
Yes,
to the-
then we have some competition.
So yeah, we are in the process of searching for a property
What?
to expand our library. We have 5,500 square feet. Above my office, I have bins. That's how we store stuff. We don't have any storage space. People want meeting rooms, and there are some meeting rooms in the community, but they're not as accessible. We have this tiny tiny meeting room that's booked all the time. It can fit like 2 people, but it's booked all the time. We also have people that just do meetings out in the open because there's not, no place to do it. So we're trying to expand, but we need a property in the city limits because accessibility is important. So
we just need to find someone, and then like Fitzy and I'll be the heavy. He can come with a gun and his sheriff's uniform, and we can be the heavy and kick him out of their house, and then you can buy it for cheap and then put it up.
Sounds like Spooner
we don't
Health
want to
needs
kick
to step
anyone
up.
out of their house.
What'd you say,
Spooner
Fitzy?
Spooner Health needs to step up, I think. And
Yeah,
give
come
some
on,
money.
Schaefer. Yeah, Schaefer, jeepers.
He
Spooner
doesn't
Health is
live. His property's not like in the city.
No, but he's a CEO of Spooner House. Just buy you guys one. They got tons of money. They'll do it. We'll talk to him. Next time he's on the show, we'll talk to him. We'll get it done.
We'll get you a building.
We'll get you a building.
He'll probably never be on again now.
No, never. Oh, Miss Angie, it was a pleasure having you on. Is there any last words that you want to share or talk about that we didn't get a chance to talk about?
If anybody wants to see what we're up to, and obviously they're already on Facebook. The majority of the people are probably already on Facebook. If they like our page, they'll keep up with all community resources we have, events we have, things like that. So they should go there. If they do not have a library card, or it was a long time ago when they had one, it is library card sign up month. September is. If they sign up for a new card, they get put in for a drawing in our library system.
What do they get?
It's a $50 card, and I think they're giving away like 3 or something.
$50 card for what? Like to pay on your previous fines? Or not fines, but
no, there's no fines.
I'm sorry, no fines. No fines.
Come on, Ben.
I got to keep up.
No, it's like a $50 gift card.
Well, that's awesome.
I already liked the Spooner
anywhere.
Library. I went to like it, and I already liked it.
I think I did too. Largely because I want to keep tracks of Riley in case your photo's on there and I can, make fun of her in the comments. What's the point of having kids if you can't make fun of them?
It's Banned Book Week, so pretty soon we're going to be
Banning
next
books?
week is Banned Book Week. So anyway, Lauren took photos of all of us, and there's going to be a mug shot scavenger hunt in the library. So Riley has a mug shot, so that'll be on Facebook. So that's enough to like.
That's awesome.
There you go.
I'm going to superimpose that into our weekly jail bookings. That'd be fantastic. Oh, speaking of, I didn't even put those up yet this morning. Sorry about that. I'll get that done after the show. All right. Thank you so much, Miss Angie, for coming on and talking to us about this stuff. Fitzy, any last words, anything you want to add? Anything you have coming up this week? Work-wise?
I know. I'm just back at it. Got to get this pile off my desk here, and we'll hit her hard. And thanks to our deputies this morning, Rice Lake Fire, they rescued a lady that was outside stuck in the mud. She went to look for a dog, fell, and got stuck. And Rice Lake Fire.
So she got stuck.
she got stuck.
It,
And our our deputies, Sergeant Hodak and his team and Rice Lake Fire went out and got stuck in the mud themselves and got they rescued her, but it was
Wow.
tough going. And so it was pretty awesome to see all those guys in action. I was on the call. That's why I was almost late getting here. So congratulations to those guys. Thanks again to our firemen all over, our volunteer firemen and our full-time firemen. They're the heart of our organization, just like our library. So thanks to everybody. Have a great week.
Thank you.
It was awesome. Thanks, Miss Angie, for being on.
Yeah.
For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and you've been watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With nearly 20 years of experience, this locally owned and operated business provides quality work both on the inside and on the outside of your home or business. So give Brian a call today. Numbers on the screen, 715-520-2271. Special thank you to our guest today, Spooner Memorial Library Director, Miss Angie, for coming on for a chat. And reminder, next week, at the very beginning of the show, we'll have Amy Greenfield on to give us the lineup for the Spooner Block Party, 2023 Spooner Block Party, and some information that's going to be released next Tuesday. We'll have it on DrydenWire, so at 8:30 next week. So make sure you tune in for that. So until then, thank you for watching, and as always, have a blessed day.